Hey, y'all remember that game? What's it called? Big Head Ninja? Nah. Swipe Ninja? Nah. Fruit Ninja. That game was awesome! Matter of fact, I'm about to play it right now. They got nice tunes on this version. Look, I can get jiggy with it. Oh, ooh, got it. Hey, big head swipe. Definitely wasn't gonna miss that one. Ooh, 1, 2, 3, got it. Let's go. Ooh, cell phone. This might be a trap. I'm gonna go for it. Oh, shoot, you got it. Dang, man, you lose. All right, so let's focus on the navigation bar on register. So it's kind of it's a component that we're going to use in the register screen and also in the login screen. So let's build a whole folder. Let's say components. And let's put this nav bar navigation bar, let's say down, because it has a down arrow in it, and because we're also going to make a left that has a left arrow in it that we will use more often. So let's just call it navigation bar down, and let's new file. Let's do index.js. So this is one reason why I like to use the terminal, because you have to do these files one by one. Navigation bar down.js, and it also pops up like that. And also styles.js. Alright, so let's open that up, and we have to import React from React. Sorry, it's my dog barking if you hear it. Import we're going to use a view, a text, touchable opacity, which is our button, basically a button that's touchable, from React Native. And let's import the styles that we just created. And now let's create a pure function. So last time we created a whole class, but this time we're going to create a pure function. Now, one difference that I know is that I'm going to give it a title and an unpress, a left icon. So I'll explain that later. But one thing that I notice is that a pure function doesn't have the render or return statement, and it doesn't have other functions within it like a class might have. But other than that, like, I'm not exactly sure why it's necessary or the benefits of it. But yeah, so that's one question I have for you all, CodeSquad. Why should we even use a pure function? Now, I'm going to use it because if we do not use it, we're going to get an error message from ESLint. So we're going to make sure we avoid that. So essentially we have a view And we have a button, which is the icon on the left. So we're going to give that a touchable opacity. And it's going to have an icon. Well, we don't have that right now, so we'll just comment that out. And it's going to have a text. And that text is going to say register. But for the login screen, it's actually going to say log in. So that's why we built this parameter constant right here, so that we don't have to put in a specific word. So you'll see how it works a little bit in a little bit. Let's see. So let's keep it going. So yeah, let's also add another icon right here. We're going to comment that out as well. So let's actually build our register. So we're in Nilvac practice. Let's cd into source. Let's make directory a register. So that's going to create our register. Containers. Okay. Actually, let me back up a bit. So the register and the register login folder are containers. So let's actually make another directory called containers. And let's put the register and register login inside of containers. Now what that does is, so now we have to go within our app.js, and to find register login, it's actually going to be containers, and then saying chart2.png source cannot be found from. So let's go into our register login. I just held command and pressed dot. So it's saying that this isn't able to find it. That's because we added another layer, another folder. So we have to jump out that folder as well. So we added this container folder. So we had to jump out of the register login 1, the container 2, and then jump out of source 3. So that's why we have 3 dots. 1, 2, 3. So let's see if that works. Command save, Command S, Command R, we run it, and we got things back running. All right, so that's just a way to help keep our information organized, everything within containers. So now we have register. So let's cd into a register. cd, okay, containers, then cd into register. Now we have to add the touch index reducer state styles in the register.js file, so I added that there. And now we have register, and we want to create this. So we're going to say import React from React import view from React Native and import styles from styles. And then we're going to say we're going to create a class, which is the register class, extends component. And now let's create render return and for right now let's just create the view, the main container view. So we're going to say style equals styles dot main container view. Then we export default register, and we have to create this style. So we go back to saying import style sheet dimensions from React Native. And now we're going to say constant styles equals style sheet dot create main container view. And let's open up this on the side. So this is a register. All right, register. Okay, so let's just close this. And now main container view. And now we want to say we have to create these constants width and height equals dimensions dot get window. And now this is going to say width, height, background color, we're going to say white, and we're going to export default the styles, so that therefore we can import it here. So now this import statement is valid, and we're getting the pure function error again. So we're just going to create an function, because we will use functions in this folder. So it says component isn't defined, so we have to define it. by saying component. So this is also a good reason to have ESLint, because it checks your mistakes before you render the file, and you get errors afterwards. So this is stating that we only have one view, so we don't have to have a closing tag. We can just have a self-enclosing tag like that. Okay, so we actually need a semicolon right there, and command save that. So so we should have a blank white screen. So let's go ahead and import that. So import register from source containers register, and also let's go into our register index, and let's import register from register. And then we want to export default register. And what that does is, you see how for register login we have to go into our register login folder, and then go into our register login JS file. Putting it into our index, we don't have to do that. We can just call it from our folder, and it should load. So we just load it right here, and now we have our register file shown. So that's just one easy step, so you don't have to call the same name twice. All right, so let's see. So we have let's go into our register, and let's import the navigation down. What do we call it? Components, navigation bar down. Navigation bar down from, we have to jump out of the folder, jump out again, go into components, go into navigation bar down, and if we do the same thing that we just did for the register controller, we can say import navigation bar down from navigation bar down, export default navigation bar down. Let's see, I spelled default wrong. Default. Now we can call this without having to call it again. So we can just leave it like that. And now we can, let's see, we have navigation bar down, we have a touchable opacity. So when we call this, let's see what it looks like. So we say we want to call it, it's going to be at the top. But it's still going to be within our main container view. So now we have to add the second view closing tag, and now we want to add the navigation bar down, and it has properties on it. So it has the title property that we created for it, and let's call it register, and let's see what that looks like. Ooh, we get an error. Let's see. It says you likely forgot the render method, so we probably forgot to export it, which we did. Let's see. So we have to export default navigation bar down. In this view, we didn't give, let's give it a color to it so we can see it. A color and the size. So let's go into the navigation bar down styles, and we're going to do the same thing. Import style sheet, dimensions from React Native. What else? Constant width height equals dimensions dot get window. Then we're going to say constant styles equals style sheet dot create. Then we're going to say, let's call this view style equals styles dot top bar. We're going to say top bar. Let's say width. It's going to be the width of the screen. The height, it's going to be let's just say let's create a constant. So constant top bar height and let's say that equals to height times 0.08, so 8% of the total height. And we have to export default styles. And now let's see what we have. We don't have the color, so background color, let's just say black for now. Still not showing, so let's see. All right, so the mistake that I made is right here, style. I had an S on it, and now we have that right there. So you can also see that our title is now hidden. So let's give our title a style. It's not hidden, it's just black, and it blends in with the black background. So let's say style equal styles dot title text. So let's create that title text. Let's give it a font size of 18. And let's give it a color of white. And let's see what that looks like. Forgot my comma. And forgot to save it right here. All right, it's all the way at the top. So let's also say let's say margin bottom. Actually, so for our top bar, let's say align items. I'm sorry, justify content. flex end, and what they'll do is push it down on the bottom. Yeah. Top bar. But as you can tell, we have an icon, we have a title, and we have another icon on the other side. So this is all going to be flex direction of row. Which means we would have to flip the justify content to align items of flex end. And let's say justify content space between. You can't really see what that does right now because the icons aren't there at the moment. So let's just comment that out until we get the icons there. So let's say instead of having it so close on the bottom, let's give the title text a margin bottom of, let's say 8. So let's create a constant. Let's say margin bottom title text and icon. Let's say that equals to 8. And that pushed it up a little bit. So we have that. And we're going to use space between later when we add the icons, but if you want to have it in the center for right now, you can just press center. So let's also fix this error that says title is missing in props validation. So what that means is we have to add a prop type for it. So we have to say a CD out into our main directory, CD into nilback practice. And now let's say npm install dash save. Those are 2 dashes. Prop types, prop dash types. And what that's going to do is create prop types for us so that we can give properties to the title and the unpressed left icon, which ESLint wants us to do. And that, like I said, helps keep our format understandable. So once this completes, all right, CodeSquad, so I'm getting an error that looks like this, uncalled reference error. And whenever I try to reload it, it brings up the native debugger. So I just right click, I press inspect, go to console, and I get all these messages. So if I reload it, it clears, and I'm getting this message right here. Version mismatch. So what I'm gonna do is Google it. React Native version mismatch. JavaScript native version. Alright, so it says double check your package.json file to make sure you have compatible. I'm not sure, but what I'm going to do is I think it's an error with we tried to load the prop types while the packager was still running. This is our packager. So what I'm gonna do is quit the terminal, terminate, quit the simulator, and I'm going to run this again. React native run iOS, and we're going to see if that works. So I'll be back once this loads. CodeSquad. Alright, so that was the error. I had to basically just restart the packager, just run it again, and now it's fine, it's up and running. So I think that when we ran the command to npm install our prop types while the packager was running, but also I think it was a mistake on my, not a mistake, but the fact that I had the video recorder, also the screen recording. I think I was having too much going on my computer, but hey, we got it going. So just if you have the same error, just command Q out your packager, command Q out your simulator. That means quit it. Then rerun it with React Native Run iOS or Android if you have that. All right, so let's go ahead and get these errors out the way. What we have to do is we have to, let's see. So we have to call navigation bar down. First of all, we have to import it. Can't forget that. Import prop types from prop types. Then we're going to say prop types equals, we have title. Let's get that spacing correct. Title prop types dot our title is a string, so we're going to give it a prop stands for property, so we're going to give it a string property, and this on press left icon is actually a function, so we're going to say prop types dot func for function, not for funky. And we actually should put that before we export it. And that, well, so our prop type error went away. It's just that now it's saying it's defined, but we never used it. So we will use it once we have our icons created. I actually just noticed that I deleted my everything else. I'm not sure if I did that while I was recording or not, but let's add it back to where it was. So it was like, it did look like that, right? I had the text, the touchable opacity, and everything. So I'm not sure if I deleted that off camera or on camera, but if I deleted it off camera, here it is. It's still here. Icon. We had the touchable opacity in the icon right here, and we got to import that prop type again. Alrighty, so we didn't get the chance to they have styles. We gotta fix that. And we for style equal styles dot. Sorry if you hear noises outside. My mom is doing something. I have no idea. Alright, so that's how it looks. And for the next episode, we're going to build the icon and the down arrow icon in the top left of the screen. I want to talk about that more in detail, so I'm not going to have enough time to put it in here. And man, oh man, how hard is it to make a coding video with little time? It's like you're trying to beat and race against the clock. So I'm going to keep on trying to make my videos shorter. Man, it's pretty hard, but I'm working on it. And yeah, we're going to do that. So, all right, Code Squad, love you all. Let's get it, baby. Have a great day.